welcome back to our channel and welcome to another day of Vlogmas. It is Christmas Eve today. I woke up this morning to film this and you are seeing this the same day, so Merry Christmas to anyone who celebrates. Today I wanted to show you guys a little more of a rundown on how to actually create your Everydollar budget. I've done some budgeting videos in the past using our real numbers and kind of shown you how we do things, but I've gotten a lot of questions on how to set it all up. So that's what today's video is going to be about. I hope this helps you guys out a little bit. I mean, it makes it a little easier to comprehend and get started because it can definitely be very daunting. So I'm hoping that this will simplify it a little bit. I'm going to show you a screen recording as I go through all of this. But before we start that, the very first thing you need to do is to find a way to start listening to Dave Ramsey's radio show. He has a daily radio show and there are several different ways to listen to it. I will put all of those in the description box so you can just click the links. You can listen to it on YouTube, Facebook, go directly to his website and listen to past radio shows and podcasts. There's a podcast app that's free that you can download and have it on your phone and listen to it in the car on your way to work or whatever the case may be. But that is for sure the very first thing you need to do, because as Dave Ramsey says, personal finance is only 20% numbers and it's 80% behavior. The podcast is going to take care of the behavior part because it's going to inspire you, it's going to motivate you. You're going to hear stories of real people who are fighting this battle to get out of debt and get control of their money every single day. And it's definitely going to put you in the right mindset to keep going, because budgeting is a little tough at first until you get the hang of it, and you're going to need that extra inspiration. Step 2 is going to be to either download an audio copy of the Total Money Makeover or read the Total Money Makeover. This is going to tell you all of the details on the baby steps, why you do them the way you do them, and kind of give you a little bit of a kick in the pants on why you should be doing them. So those two are going to lay the foundation for having the desire to stick to this budget that I'm about to show you how to create. So let's jump right into the budgeting process. Be sure to click subscribe down below if you like this, and share this video because this can help so many people. So share this on your social medias, tell your friends about it so that they can get all of this information as well and maybe change their financial lives. The very first thing that you are going to do is open an internet browser and type in everydollar.com into the address bar. And then you're going to click this sign in button at the top right corner. And once it's done loading, at the bottom of the little sign in box, you will see a new to Everydollar question, sign up now, and you're going to click that. So click sign up now, and then you're just going to enter your information here, your first and last name, your email address, your password, the country you're in, and the zip code if that's applicable to you. Everydollar will send an email to this email address so that you can verify that it's actually yours. So you are going to go into your email, click that message, and then there in that message there will be a link that will take you to this page right here. It will say your email has been verified, take me to my budget, and then it will give you the options of downloading Everydollar on Google Play or the App Store as well so that you can have it on your phone. I highly recommend to have it on your phone so that you can easily enter transactions, but definitely set it up on a computer, even if you have to go to like a library or something, because it is so much more user-friendly on a computer to get it all set up. So let's click take me to my budget. This will take us to this option where you can kind of customize a little bit and tell what your goals are. You can click this X up here and skip this if you don't want to do this and just want to get straight to the budgeting. But I have just created this dummy account, obviously, and a lot of people are in debt. A lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck. So I'm just going to click those two. We're going to get out of debt and we're going to stop living paycheck to paycheck. So we're just going to click those two for now. And then it will just give you a little testimony of someone who has been successful with Everydollar. We're going to choose what is applicable to us. So we are going to say that we rent, we're married, and we have kids, and we own a car. Next is going to be your income. So this is going to walk you through everything to set it up at the beginning, and then I'm going to show you how to rearrange it to make it a little more applicable to you. So if you have an irregular income like I do, you are going to enter the lowest amount that you plan to receive for the month. So that way you can budget based on your minimum. You know that you're going to get this in, and then you can add it from there if you make more. We are just going to keep numbers even, and we're just going to say that you plan to take in $3,000 a month. You can change this from paycheck 1 to your name. So if you're married, you can put your income here, and if your spouse works, then for paycheck number 2, you can put their income down here. We're just going to keep it as one person working. Maybe you got a stay-at-home parent, and we're just going to put job. Now we're going to make a plan for our expenses and how we're going to use that income. So in this case, we are going to talk about the basics essentially, and they already have all of the categories for you, but you can add items in as well. So you're going to enter your housing expenses. Obviously, anything that we're entering right now, you can edit later. So you don't have to worry too much about getting it all right the first time. We said that we are renters, and I am just going to put $1,500 a month for rent. A lot of places are higher than this, a lot of places are lower than this, so I'm just kind of going to go a little bit in the middle here and put that, and that is going to leave us with $1,500 left. So when I click to the next category, you'll see this $3,000 left to budget change to $1,500. So I'm going to click down here, and we've got $1,500 left to budget. If you own a home, obviously you can just erase the rent part, but we're going to erase the mortgage part because we're paying rent. The next are your utilities, so you're just going to enter in what you spend. I'm just going to kind of make up numbers because these numbers being accurate for everybody is not possible, so I'm just going to throw out numbers here and you can get the idea of how to enter yours in. So water is $50. We are not going to do natural gas, so I'm sorry I did that so fast, but a little trash can will pop up next to the category when you have clicked on it. And so if you don't need that category, you can just click that little trash can and it'll go away. Or you can just change the name of it and make it something else too. So electricity, we are going to say it's also $50 a month. And then we are on the trend of what's going on now. We cut the cord with cable, and we're just paying for the Hulu and Disney Plus bundle. And that is $13 a month. Our trash service is, we'll just say $30 a month. And then we are going to put in a security system category. We're going to say that we pay for a security system, and we're going to say we pay $40 a month for that. All right, so those are your housing expenses. Those are all of the things that revolve around running your home, the basics of running your home. Obviously, Hulu, Disney Plus, and the security system aren't necessities, but we're not worried about cutting those things right now. Right now, we're just seeing where are we at with our income. We're going to click continue to go to the next category, and now we're going to enter our transportation expenses. They're going to ask about the car payment a little bit later, but for gas, we are going to say $150 a month. Again, we have a stay-at-home parent and a working parent, and we're just going to assume the working parent works not too far from their place, so that should cover gas. Maintenance is a tricky one because obviously some cars need more than others. So what you're going to do for maintenance for your car is add up how much the basic maintenance on your car is. Not something that's going to go wrong, like a tire blows out or, something goes wrong with the engine or whatever. It's actual maintenance that you do regularly, like oil changes, wiper blades, anything that your car is definitely going to need each year consistently. You can definitely go on to Google and type in what basic maintenance expenses are there for cars and find lists and kind of choose the items that apply to you and your vehicle. Obviously, if you have an older vehicle, this maintenance is going to be a little bit more expensive, so you have to cater that to you. I recommend just getting out a piece of paper, putting the word car maintenance on top and just listing all of the things that you might need and adding that all up. And then you can divide that by 12, and we're going to enter that into what you plan to spend. And I'm just going to put $50 just because we are doing hypotheticals here. Up here in Washington State, we have the Good to Go Pass, which pays for the tolls and stuff as you cross certain bridges and roads that have tolls, or if you have any expenses like that, then you can add the item and put in that as well here. Now we're going to enter our food expenses. We are going to assume that this married couple loves to cook and are pretty frugal about where they buy food and things like that. So we are going to say $400 a month for groceries. Now this category, you have a couple options. Groceries, for some people, they put everything they can get at a grocery store. So if you walk into wherever your grocery store of choice is and get toilet paper and dish soap and bananas and whatever else, they count that all as their grocery category because it all came from the grocery store. This can be tricky if you shop at somewhere like Target or Walmart where you can literally get everything there. So you kind of have to look at your own personal categories and where you purchase things. We personally choose to separate out groceries, which are things we can get from an actual grocery store that are edible. And then we have a separate category called household and personal care, which are things we can get from that grocery store that are not edible, like the toilet paper and toothpaste and things like that. So you just have to decide what's best for your family and what makes the most sense for you. If you get overwhelmed easily with a lot of different detail, I would just keep it in one category for now, and you can always change it later. For restaurants, they do have a date night every month, so we're going to say $50 a month for that. Notice we have $667 left to budget. For clothing, we're going to assume this is a pretty simple couple who don't buy clothes often. We're just going to put $25 a month. Obviously, people need clothing eventually, so we'll be able to stash that away each month, even if it's not used, and then use it when it's needed. For phones, they go through Cricket Wireless, which is what we go through, and it is $80 a month for 2 lines. That includes everything, taxes, all of that, so that is there. Fun money is another category that you really have to look at your priorities and what you want to focus on. So Anthony and I have decided not to take fun money for now until we are out of debt, because we kind of have some money built into our eating out fund and a little bit into an entertainment fund, and those kind of are our fun money things. But if you or your spouse tends to spend money every day on things like Starbucks or convenience store purchases and things like that, then you may want to add a fun money category where you have a certain amount of spending of money each month that each of you get, and once that money is gone, it's gone. So you definitely need to talk that over if you're in a relationship with somebody and agree on an amount that will work for you. If you want to just nix this category altogether, you can also do that as well, because it's kind of wrapped up in a couple other categories. But we're going to say that they each get $20 a month for fun money, just for that random, like I'm out and I need to grab something on the go to eat or whatever. Hair and cosmetics, I'm actually going to change this category to household and personal care. That basically includes anything that you get at a grocery store to take care of your house or personal self. So we are going to put $50 a month for that. And then we have subscriptions, which I entered one of them already back in the housing category in the Hulu and Disney Plus. But any subscriptions you have, and I am a huge fan of actually separating this out into categories, or at least like having them written down on something else that you can see. So writing it down somewhere and hanging it on your fridge or whatever if you have multiple subscriptions, because this can be a budget killer. There are so many subscription boxes and subscription ways to watch television shows and things like that they add up so fast because they are so cheap. You think to start like, oh, it's only $10 a month. That's doable. But then they add up really, really quickly. So really take a look at your subscriptions. Cancel any ones that you don't use. The ones that you do use, really think about whether you really need them or not, and maybe consider canceling those as well, because this getting to your financial goals is so much more important. So you really have to look and see what is priority for your family and make that decision. I am going to assume that this couple only has the Hulu and Disney Plus, and they don't do any of the monthly subscription boxes or other entertainment related subscriptions. So we are going to delete that category for this family. All right, so we have the basics covered, and we have $492 left to budget. So we're going to click continue and look at our giving category. So this one is also a very, very personal thing. When you are in baby step 1, okay, I'm going to do this 2 different ways. If you are a believer and you do attend church, then tithing becomes priority before you even allocate any of your income anywhere else. And that's 10% of your income. So in this case, we have a $3,000 a month income. So we would tithe $300 a month before we even budget anything else. And this is where you would put that, and you can change it to tithe or whatever you want. Is any other charity that you are doing, then in baby step 1, it is recommended or said that you do not do anything above that tithe because you want to get to your goals so that ultimately you can give greatly and freely and more. If you are not religious, then obviously you would just delete this category. So that's going to be a personal choice. I'm going to leave these as they are for this hypothetical couple. And then the lovely debt. So we mentioned before we were going to deal with the car payment soon. So we're going to deal with that here. If you have any debt at all, this is where it goes. Store credit cards, loans to personal loans from family, or anything like that that you need to pay money back on, it all goes here. So this couple, we're going to assume they have a credit card and their minimum payment is $50 a month. So when you enter these amounts in, you want to enter in the minimum amount because we want to see what we have left over after we make the very basic, most bare bones payments that we have. Most of Americans have a car payment, and the average monthly payment in the United States for used vehicles is $381. So we are going to use that as our car payment. And notice we're getting dangerously low here. We only have $61 left to budget. Luckily, this couple did not have any student loans, so we can delete that, and they don't have any medical bills either. They do have a personal loan through their bank, but the minimum payment on that is only $25. Debt is stealing $456 of their monthly income. So obviously that car payment is the biggest one. They want to get rid of that, and they only have $36 left to budget. So now this is where it's going to take us to the Everydollar platform and what you're going to see now that you have everything set up. So we have $36 left to budget, and Everydollar, just like the name, says that we need to budget every single dollar somewhere. So we are on baby step 1 with this couple because they're in debt and they don't have anything saved. So all of this extra is going to go into their emergency fund. So we are going to put $36 into their emergency fund. Baby step 1 is saving $1,000 into a baby emergency fund. And once you have that, you go to baby step 2, which is tackling all of that debt that we were talking about down here. Now, notice that we haven't even put anything in for insurance at all. So this is a problem. And you're probably going to run into something like this where you have all your numbers entered in and there's not enough money to go around. So this is where you have to get tough with yourself and with your spouse if you have one, and really think about what is the priority. So these people don't go to the gym or anything. We're just going to assume they have a home gym or something, or did they just work out at home? At this point, you're going to sit down and have a budget meeting if you're not already doing this as you're entering this. And we're going to talk about, okay, what is the most realistic? We're going to decide that we're going to take away our fun money because we already have $50 a month for restaurants for our date night. And I think that that's good enough. So we are going to erase this. I'm not going to delete it completely because eventually we want to add fun money back in, but I am going to put it at 0 because we don't need it for now. Gas and car maintenance you can't really get rid of. Groceries and restaurants, you can get rid of the restaurants. We may end up having to do that. We'll go ahead and take a look at it. We're looking up at our rent, our water, electricity. Hulu and Disney Plus is one thing we could get rid of. So let's consider that. Trash, and then our security system. So this, again, is going to be a personal decision. We're going to take away that emergency fund, $36, because we know we need to pay for our insurance. And we're not giving anything yet, so we don't have to worry about that one. Our security system is $40 a month. Let's go down to our insurance. And we're going to hope that their employer, that the spouse's employer who is working, covers both of them and that they don't pay anything for health insurance. I know that's not the norm, but we don't have much leeway here with $56. They do not have life insurance yet, which is something that they definitely are going to want to look into. Auto insurance, obviously, they have to have that. So they are going to spend $80 a month on auto insurance, which is super low, but we don't have a lot. So now we are $24 over budget already. And the only way to make that up is either to cut more or to make more. So now it makes it a lot more real what is coming in and what is going out. Obviously, we talked about this person is living paycheck to paycheck. So this kind of shows how and why that they're doing that. They need to bring in more income. And if they can't, then they need to cut probably that security system to give them a little bit. So I would say at this point, they're going to cut the security system. And then we're going to put $16 into that emergency fund until they can make more money. This comes in the form of side jobs. There are so many side jobs, literally delivering pizzas, delivering groceries. There are obviously some jobs have opportunities for overtime. So they are going to have to grind and go gazelle intense to increase their incomes to be able to do all of this. Now, this is kind of a basic guideline. When you get every single dollar budgeted, you'll get this little check mark that it's an Everydollar budget. Now, the last thing I want to show you guys before we are done here is how we have organized our categories. So what we did is we kept the first three, but then instead of the housing category, we put monthly bills. So if you like this colorful pie chart over here and seeing what percentage of your money is going into each category, then you would want to keep it like this. But we didn't really use that much, so we just changed that housing category to monthly. You just click on the title and change it. And anything that was a monthly expense, which was like basically automatic bills or bills that come out every month no matter what, go here. Then we changed the transportation category to envelopes. And this is basically anything that we spend money on monthly, but it's not like, oh, the bill is due on this day type of things. And that's gas, maintenance, groceries, restaurants, all of this. Clothing, the phone would go up into monthly. Household personal care would go into envelopes. And then we have auto insurance would go up into monthly. And then the debt payments, we actually did leave debt as a separate category. So that is how we organized it. So we completely got rid of this lifestyle category. You can click the lifestyle name and then click delete group to get rid of complete groups. And we're going to do the same thing with the health category. For the insurance, you can click and drag and change these within the categories they're in, but unfortunately you can't drag them to new categories. So we would just go up here to monthly, click add an item, put in our auto insurance of $80, and then we would go down to the insurance one and delete that one because we don't want it in there twice, obviously. So then you're going to click on that insurance category once you've transferred everything you have up into the right one and click delete group. So you continue to do that until everything that you have are in these either monthly, envelopes, or debt categories. And then it's a little bit more simple to see. And then you can also add in, like we did, rent is due on the 1st, so we would type a 1. And maybe water is due on the 16th, so we would type that. And Hulu comes out on the 5th. I'm just making these up, obviously. So then once you have all of those done, you can drag and drop and put them in order of when they come out so that you can just hop on here really quickly and see what's coming out. All right, that is it for today. There is so much more that I could go into in detail about Everydollar. For example, going into the sinking funds and how to create those and how those work, going into the extra tools that Everydollar has and the difference between Everydollar Plus and the free version of Everydollar. So if you would like to see more videos about Everydollar specifically and the ins and outs of it, just let me know in the comments down below so that I know to make those for you guys when the new year comes. But for now, I'm so thankful that you watched till the end. Remember to stay humble, be kind, and I will see you tomorrow for the last day of Vlogmas.